Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video we'll be talking about the running back position and could the Washington Commanders potentially take a running back in the first round or maybe in the second round. If you guys new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. We're like 50 subscribers away from 15,000 subscribers. Help me get there. So let's get right into it. So this draft class isn't the best in terms of, the first rounders. Like I saw a bunch of, tweets like 10, 12 first round grades on some of these, draft boards for teams. And it's definitely lower than, normal. And yeah, just not a really good class. So you could see a bunch of, surprise names are drafted in the first round. And some of that could include some running backs. And I do think the Washington Commanders should look into it. I'm not saying they should take a first round running back. Would I be, completely opposed to that? No. Is that my preference? Probably not. But if they did, if one of these guys falls, like, Ashton Jeanty falls to 29, I would be ecstatic taking him because you're taking a really, really good back in the first round there. That's going to be elite for you. You're going to have him for 5 years and you can franchise tag him for one more at a reasonable contract. So you get him for, control of him for 6 years, team control of him for those 6 years. So that would be good. And I think the Commanders need a star running back. So there's a bunch of different names. You got Ashton Jeanty. Let me get that out of the way. You got Ashton Jeanty. You got Travion Henderson, who is a stud. You got Quinshon Judkins, also a stud. Both of them played Ohio State. Judkins, I believe, transferred from Mississippi State. You got Caleb Johnson from Iowa, I believe, and Omarion Hampton from UNC. All guys, I believe UNC. All those guys are studs. And there's even other guys too. I mean, you got Bashal Tutin from Virginia Tech, who I think is a sleeper. I mean, obviously I'm biased to go to Virginia Tech, but I would say he's going to be a day 2 player. Maybe the Commanders can go after him. He's quick, he's very athletic, and he can, he's a threat as a pass catching back as well. He's a home run hitter, something the Commanders do not have right now. So running back is the position I wouldn't mind the Commanders go. I would say first round, I'd rather them go edge. I'd rather them go, tackle and maybe receiver, because those are positions of need, and they also are premium positions versus running back is not necessarily a premium position. But if you're very high on a running back, I don't think it's a bad idea to take one. I also don't think it's a bad idea maybe you skip on Jeanty and maybe that number 2 running back, but in the second round you're I guess since they're picking late in the second round, it might be hard to get the top 3, but you might be able to get one of those tier 2 guys, lower tier 2 guys, or maybe you take one in the third round. There's a bunch of guys available this year in the draft, and I think running back is a position that the Commanders could get, and I wouldn't, again, mind them drafting a guy early, because here's the thing. You draft an edge rusher late first round, he might have an impact year 1, but more likely than not, he won't have a huge impact. He's not going to be a 10+ sack guy like necessarily what you want him to be eventually. It's very hard for an edge rusher to do that. Offensive line to late first round, some of them are studs, but for the most part, it takes a little bit of time. It's tight end, even more so. Receiver, they can usually have an impact, so that's a little bit different. But I say running back is the position they can come in and have the biggest impact out of any position. You can have a running back come in and have 1,300, 1,400 yards for you in their first year. Running backs, that's how it goes for them. And I think Jeanty's going to have a really, really good year. I could see 1,300 yards plus for him. And then some of these other, I could see 3+ 1,000 yard rushers from this class in their rookie years. That's how good I think this class is for the running back position. And they have a bunch of different spots that they could go here. They, could go in the first round, take a running back. They could wait until the second, third, or even fourth round to take a running back. And this is what Jordan Reed here said. Not Jordan Reed, the former Redskin, but Jordan Reed, the ESPN analyst, had a common theme this year is the low number of true round 1 grades in this year's class. Could see a lot of unexpected names called in the first round. Hampton and Henderson, this is what Steve said, one of the guys I like his thoughts on for Commander stuff. Says Hampton and Henderson could sneak into round 1, and then Caleb Johnson to maybe early round 2. I think Hampton is like the consensus RB2 right now, and then after that you have a debate whether it's Henderson at number 3, Judkins, Caleb Johnson, and then there's some other names as well. I mean, I'll look it up right here. Top running backs 2025 NFL draft. It's a very good class, so they might be able to. And this is PFF, so we'll take it with a grain of salt. I'm just going over the names really. So you got Genty, Omarion Hampton, Scadaboo. I forgot to say him. I think he's good. I just don't necessarily think he's the running back the Commanders need. I want a quicker guy, and Scadaboo is just not super quick in my opinion. You got, Sampson from Tennessee, Caleb Johnson, I talked about him. So those are there. They didn't really have a lot of guys. Did they even put, okay, they did put Hampton. So Hampton, his strengths, built like an NFL back, measurables, weight distribution, and athleticism, has good physical aspects, good pass pro, elite power, kind of looks like a little bit of an AP, Adrian Peterson when he's running back there. Look over some other guys, just some names here. You got Genty, Henderson, Judkins, Devin Neal. I forgot about him. He's a stud out of Kansas. Was a good pass catcher, can run the ball as well. You got Donovan Edwards, another Michigan running back. Khalil Mullings, don't really know much about him. Jordan James, Taj Brooks. They don't even have my guy Tootin here. Which, I guess they have him here in terms of speed, athleticism chart. He's at the top there with 4.32 40-yard dash is what they think he's going to run, and 209 pounds. So he's quick, but he's also big, so he can, make some guys miss as well. Let's see. I'll go over some other. We'll go to list 2 here, see if there's any other, big names. Let's see where Tootin is on the list. So they got him at the 16th best running back. I think that's a little low, but again, it is what it is. You got Martinez, the Miami running back. I'm trying to see any other guys that I know. RJ Harvey's been a name that's getting some steam out of US or UCF. Any other names? So those are Kyle Monangai too from Rutgers. They played Virginia Tech. They beat him. He's good as well. There's a lot of names. So if the Commanders don't get one on day 1, even day 2, on day 3 early, you can get a running back that is a contributor as well. I think they need to add to the room. Do they need to add a top guy, a first-round guy, second-round guy? Not necessarily. I would think it's a good idea to at least add a day 2 guy. Do they need to? Not necessarily, but I think they need to add a running back for sure to this room to help it out. They need a quicker guy and help out Jaden Daniels a little bit, get another weapon on this offense. And maybe that's a receiver. Maybe they get Burden or Abuka, but I think it's probably a running back is the easiest way to do it. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button. Just talking about some running backs. I know it's early for draft stuff, but just wanted to mention it. I believe in terms of free agents, there's some okay guys. I believe Najee Harris, Aaron Jones, but I think the draft, especially with a deep class, this is the year to go after a running back, and they can get one this year. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.